bone health. It's kind of a multitasking vitamin. Grab your one-a-day vitamins at your favorite retailer today.
Check it out, we got a bunch of water right here. Can't sleep in that. Well, the fire's done a great job thawing the ground out and pushing the walls of the shelter back, but we're getting water pooling up here and here. Now, hopefully, once the ground gets a little more thawed, that water will just go straight down and won't be a problem. But if we can't get rid of that standing water, I'm gonna have to make a raised bed, and that's gonna be a lot of work. Well, I got a lot more wood cutting to do, but I'm gonna get a start on dinner. I'm gonna be making some baked beans. Got a bag of great northern beans here. Dump them in there. I'm gonna let those beans simmer and soak for a couple hours while we work on our shelter. All right, I'm gonna move the fire and see if the ground's drying up at all. If anything, it's muddier. You see all of the snow and ice that's melting is just draining straight down into this corner. And to a lesser extent, we got it going on over in this corner too. I'm hoping if I can dig little trenches on either side, then the water will go out this way and I can make the middle nice and dry so I have a place to sleep. We'll see what happens, but this is the problem in the wintertime. You really don't know what type of ground you're dealing with until you get it all shoveled out and thawed out. The ideal place to do this is like a gravel bar or a sand dune or a beach on a lake. But you don't always get what you want, so you just gotta adapt. I want to make a platform to sleep on. To do that, I need to get rid of all these little branches. I don't have an axe, and doing that with my knife will take forever. So I'm going to use the fire. Aha! There we go, dry ground. My little gutter trick seems to be working. We got firm, dry ground right here. Yeah, all right, we're getting there. All right, got a little sleeping platform to keep me out of the mud, and it's a little bit softer than the ground. The wood bends a little bit. Got this just in case it starts to snow really bad tonight. I can throw my blanket over the top and use it like a tarp. Well, I think my beans are about done and I've worked up quite an appetite, so I think it's time to make some dinner. Now I know this is a survival video, but I have a very important rule I live by. I don't mind being cold, I don't mind sleeping on the ground, and I don't mind being hungry. But I only do one of those things at a time. So tonight, I'm eating like a king. Time to cut up some firewood.
As my puppy grows, the messes do too. The Shark Hydro Duo cordless wet and dry hard floor cleaner I picked up from Kohl's is the perfect grab and go solution. The UV light ensures I don't miss anything. The on-demand spray allows me to clean messes easily and often.
Are you booking the next trip on this trip?
Absolutely.
My blanket got a little wet from the snowstorm, so I'm just drying it out. Also kind of makes a nice little windbreak in my back. All right, let's test the beans. Nice and soft. Add a little pepper, add a little salt, add some ground mustard, some brown sugar, and tomato paste. Beans are almost done, so I'm going to go ahead and make some bread. I have this dough I made up last night. Take and wrap this bit of cheese, a little bit of bread dough with that Gouda inside. Cooking bread on the coals is really easy. Either you make a disc and you lay it straight on the coals and flip it, or you make a ball and you bury it in the coals. A little bit of campfire ash that gets stuck to the bread tastes just like flour. Coming along nicely. All right, we're gonna put that right on the coals. Just like the bread, the coals are gonna stick to it while it's rare, and once it's cooked, the coals will fall off. Yes, that is perfect. A little cheese-filled biscuit cooked in the ash right there. Oh, check out the melted Gouda in there. That is so good. Oh, those are good beans. It's got so much pork jowls in there and the brown sugar. These are good beans. Oh, that is delicious steak. This bread dough is so easy to bring on winter campouts. You just tear off a piece and bake yourself some fresh bread whenever you're feeling like it. If you refrigerate it, it'll last 3-4 days without any problems. It just slowly becomes sourdough if you let it sit for too long. Oh, that bread was good. I'm gonna make some more of that. That is good prime rib. That is good. Look at that. That's gorgeous. But it looks like it's going to be windy and cold tonight. The dinner was really good, but I am so thirsty. So I need to clean my pot out and start melting some snow, get some water. Well, the wind is really kicking up and it is getting cold and the sun's setting. And I don't have enough firewood to get me through the night, so I need to go start chopping some more wood.
In the Lakes region, adventure is right outside your door, and so is your next vehicle. At New Car Auto Mall of Tilton, we have over 1,500 brand new vehicles in one place, including Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Ford, Kia, Nissan, and Volkswagen. And every new vehicle is backed by New Car's complimentary 20-year, 200,000-mile protection plan. Plus, we'll deliver your new car anywhere in the Granite State for free. Visit newcarnh.com today and discover why everyone loves a new car.
We are trying really hard to get you Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, but there is only so much we can do here. You're gonna have to meet us halfway. Well, the whole way, actually.
Well, there we go. That's a healthy pile of firewood. I got a bunch of tinder over here as well. This pine burns about 1 inch radius per hour. It's about a 2.5, 3 inch radius. So this piece of wood should last 3 hours in the fire. You need about 4 of these to have a fire. So I'm gonna burn up about 4 of these logs every 3 hours. So I have about 12 hours of firewood right there. Got my water. My socks are all sweaty. I'm gonna go ahead and try to dry my feet and boots off before I go to sleep. I got all the steam coming off my feet. Yeah, my socks are really wet. Oh, that makes such a difference. Well, my feet are all dry. I got all my firewood. I think it's time to go to bed. I'm going to be waking up throughout the night to stoke the fire, so better get to bed sooner rather than later. But before I go to bed, I'm going to show you one little trick that's going to make my bed very warm. Well, there we go. Got my bed set up where my fire used to be. I got all those hot coals and hot rocks underneath there. It's gonna be so toasty warm. Oh wow, yeah, that is awesome. Now if you're gonna do this, you wanna make sure you use a real wool blanket. If you did this with a synthetic blanket or a polyester blanket, it would melt and cause me all sorts of problems. Oh, that is nice and warm. I can feel the heat from the ground coming up through the bed. It is really nice. I'll tell you what, it is so toasty in here. I'm low enough that the snow berm is blocking the wind. I've got the heat from the ground coming up underneath me, and this fire is just baking me. But I'm gonna have to get up and stoke the fire several times throughout the night. So I better get going to bed. It's gonna be a long night. I'll see you in the morning. Oh, good morning. Well, there you go. I didn't freeze to death. I even got some sleep. Was it comfortable? Not particularly. Did I have to wake up a lot and stoke the fire? Yeah, but it's pretty warm in here. Oh, time to get up. Oh. Had a little bit of snow last night. And I woke up with these snowflakes hitting my face, which is really annoying when you're trying to sleep. I was able to pull my face under the blanket and stay dry. But my blanket's a little bit wet, so I think I better dry it out. All right, I think next step is to stoke the fire up and get some coals going so we can make breakfast. All right, I think it's time to cook some breakfast. I got some leftover dough, some leftover pork jowl bacon, and a jar of honey and butter. I think we're gonna make something good. All right, I got honey and melted butter. All right, a little bit of pork jowl bacon here, honey butter. Fresh bread, slabs of bacon smothered in honey butter. This is nice. That is so good. I'll tell you what, guys, I've built a lot of lean-tos and bushcraft shelters, but hands down, the best way to stay warm is to build a big fire, clear out the snow, dry out the ground, then move the fire over and sleep on the warm ground. If you get really cold, you can switch places with the fire throughout the night. But unfortunately, you need to be able to make fire and you need access to a lot of firewood for this to work. And if you don't have that, there's another trick I've heard about. When I was a boy, my grandfather told me a story about a Native American woman in his community who got lost in the mountain. Crazy blizzard came in, dumped multiple feet of snow, deadly cold. And when this Native American woman realized that she was stuck in this blizzard, she found a tree, went under the branches, and went to sleep. And so what my grandpa told me is that you don't freeze to death without waking up at least once. And so when she'd wake up cold, instead of ignoring it and going back to sleep, she'd pop up and run around the tree until her blood was going and she was hot. And then she would go back under the tree, go back to sleep. Apparently after 2 days, the blizzard broke and the community went up into the mountains looking for her. And there they found her, and she'd just been running around this tree for 2 days. She was tired, miserable, and cold, but she was alive. But the more survival bushcraft camping trips I do, the more I realize that this survival stuff is really a lot of work. You're gonna have to push yourself for hours every day just to make it. If you're not willing to work hard, if you don't have that self-discipline, you're just not gonna get it done. But on that note, I think it's time to start packing up. Oh. Just blows me away how good of a job that fire does in clearing away the snow. It actually reminds me of the Donner Party. They had a fire pit like this and it snowed 15 feet on them. And the wall of their fire pit was so high that they had to carve stairs to be able to get in and out of the fire pit. Well guys, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you want to see more videos like this, check out the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel. We put out new videos every Saturday morning and we have entire playlists of just our survival camping videos. All right guys, see you next Saturday morning. If you like this video, don't forget to check out the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel where we have hundreds of videos just like this. And don't forget to click subscribe so you can see other great videos every Saturday morning. And hit that bell button so you'll get notifications. Thanks for watching.
That client review was brutal.
We're gonna be underwater for weeks.
I'm already so pruny.
This is fixable. Just use Grammarly. Grammarly can look through the proposal to find what's missing. And look, Grammarly knows the audience is non-technical, so it can take out the jargon and make the benefits easier to understand.
Cool. And with Grammarly working across 500,000 apps and websites, we'll never be underwater again!
Download Grammarly for free.
Luke and Jake here with the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, and we're here stranded in the Alaskan Peninsula. And we're spending the next 3 days camping, avoiding bears, foraging for food, exploring abandoned villages, and the only way we're getting home is by bush plane.
Told that time will heal all our wounds and our sorrows too. No more clouds, no more rain. I need sun to ease my pain. For this night.
All right, I'll see you in a few days. Let's get our stuff. We gotta go do some hiking. All right, guys, welcome to Polly Creek, Alaska. Now, Polly Creek is located on the northeast part of the Alaskan Peninsula. And the Alaska Peninsula is known for having the highest concentration of brown bears anywhere in North America. Tourists from all over the world come to the Alaska Peninsula to see a brown bear. But unlike them, our goal is to not see a brown bear. Hopefully that'll go smoothly. Yeah, this looks good. Whew. Look at the size of this wolf. I mean, that's huge. Look at the length of his gait, too. Dang, that's a big wolf. But no bear prints, so that's good. Come on, Jake, let's go explore a little bit. Looks like a piece of jade right there. You can make jewelry out of that. Check this out. This is pumice. We're really close to Mount Redoubt and Mount Spur, which are two of Alaska's more active volcanoes. When I was a kid, Mount Spur erupted and dumped several inches of volcanic ash on our house. There's a little stream. Yeah, it's a little brackish. Check this out. This is a shell of a razor clam. It's a large edible clam. It's really common out here. So we can kind of scout these mud flats out and see if we can find any clams. You got to be careful out on these mud flats. We have a 20 to 30 foot tide here in Alaska, and we also have quicksand. It's a really nasty combination. Oh, I cut into a, yeah, where is he? Oh, there he is. This is kind of like a bloodworm or a ragworm. These little piles of sand poo, that's from those worms. Those worms make excellent bait for certain types of ocean fish. Check this out. This is a shell of a butter clam, one of the many edible clams here in Alaska. These are mussels. They always attach themselves to rocks. Those are also tasty and edible, but those ones are pretty small. We'll leave them be. Low tide was a couple hours ago, and the tide's coming in pretty quick, so We can't stay out on these mud flats much longer. I'm just kind of scouting around, seeing if I can find a good place to come back and hunt clams. Here's a bunch of those worm piles. Oh, check this out. These right here are cockles, another great edible clam here in Alaska. I'd love to find some of these. I mean, I'm looking around and I'm seeing shells all over the place. I think we're in the right area. I'm looking for little dimples in the sand to let me know where the clams are hiding. Now look at that. See there's a little hole in the ground right there? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna dig next to it. Oh, there he is. See him? Oh, little baby razor clam. You want to eat him for dinner? Okay, here, you hold on to him. He's your responsibility. But oh, look at that, tide's coming in so fast, Jake. See, look how fast the tide's coming. That's going pretty quick. Should we get out of here? You can see this is where we were walking just a few minutes ago. The water in this channel's gotten a foot deeper in just 10 minutes. All right, let's get out of here. Well, we found a spot to clam tomorrow, but not in a moment too soon. All right, let's set up our tent. We're gonna need big sticks. All right, Jake, found some good sticks.
Folks, I want you to give a warm welcome to Bob Dylan.
Now streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus. Nominated for 8 Academy Awards.
I got a portable electric grizzly bear fence we're gonna set up around our tent. Yeah, should be on. All right, we're gonna take a little bit of grass and we're gonna test this. As you get closer, you can feel it go beep, beep, beep. All right, it's off. All right, got the tent completely set up, but look at the tide. Man, it's come up. There was 10-foot boulders out there and I can't even see them anymore. Eric, you hungry? Yeah. Let's see what we got for snacks here. Would you like some trail mix?
Yeah.
We got Lihi Mui gummies. I've got some figs and dates and cheese and crackers. That's all right. Now we got camp set up and food in us. We need to go find some fresh water. There we go, bear fence is on. That'll keep the wolves and bears out of our food.
They call it
Oh, look at that. That's a cool shell. We gotta find a whole one of those for Mommy. My wife's love language is seashells. Oh, look at this. That is a pretty piece of quartz. Look how clear that is. This is a commercial fish camp where commercial clam diggers would stay during the summer to dig clams. They got this big refrigerated Connex. They put their clams in there. Now it gets shipped off to a processing plant. But I'm not 100% sure if this place has been abandoned or not. Yeah, there we go, fresh water. What do you think about this bridge, Jake? I've seen some sketchy bridges in my time. This one takes the cake. I'm not sure I want to be on that. I'm going to die sometime, but it's not going to be today on that bridge.